there is. I don't know if Frost has his own. Quite frankly, I'm not entirely sure where the report is. I will admit. But I don't think we're entirely comfortable putting it in the high command report section because there's a lot of eyes that can be in there, and we just really don't. We don't. We're not entirely sure on the angles to proceed with it yet. I wanted to keep Bjorn doing what he was doing so we could kind of supervise him and watch him more closely, see what he was getting up to. Others wanted to suspend him, and I think we're still just in the information gathering phase and trying to figure out where to go from here.
I obviously didn't have much context prior to Pred approaching me with the situation. I think the most concerning bit was that we were told without any reason, like, we can't take Bjorn. And then it was like a matter of like, okay, let's figure out why. And then from my understanding, neither Frost nor Knight were willing to divulge any information regarding it. Which for Knight, I can understand if Knight or like the marshals are.
It's not even that. They basically didn't even do this. They didn't say, "Hey, we think there's some shit going on."
Yeah, if they had done what you did right here, this I don't think this ever would have been an issue.
It's a 10-second thing.
Well, Knight wanted it to come from us specifically, and Frost hasn't been around, and I was having a spa day yesterday, so it just was a bit awkward. But
got it.
It's not like we were trying to keep anything from you guys. It's more so he just wanted it to come from me specifically, you know?
I mean, that's what it looks like. All right, can I just be honest?
Yes, you can be honest.
It looks like you guys are kind of keeping it from us when you have the director of the marshals involved, you have Ruth involved, and you have all your guys high command involved, and then you guys don't. I mean, you guys. Well, what is? Can I just ask a basic question here? What is the disdain towards the LSPD high command team? Like, why are these reports not accessible to us? Why are we not filled in?
There isn't any disdain. I mean,
that's what it looks like.
This is an issue that stemmed from a deputy that we began to handle, and you took interest in, and now we're having a conversation with you about it. I don't believe that there's any disdain here at all.
I will say, I think another area of concern is, let's sort of run under the hypothetical that Bjorn may be involved in some capacity, right? And ultimately, it's determined that he's being fired. The tricky part is, without, like, I don't anticipate there being a full-on announcement saying Bjorn has been fired, right? But without command being made aware, and I understand opening it up to command, it includes a lot more people than just high command, but without command being aware, like, the possibility exists right now that Bjorn is like, oh, I forgot my keys, or approaches someone and goes, hey, can I see your class 2 real quick? I gotta check the casing on it, right around back.
Yes.
Gets handed a class 2 and then just drives off,
I understand that, but this is not necessarily about people safe from Bjorn, and it's more so about making sure that the information that is out there isn't. We don't necessarily want Bjorn to know what we know because we don't know what he knows. You know what I mean? It's more so I just don't want.
You don't want to show your hand
with him.
Yeah, I get it.
Yes, exactly. Because this could be a big deal. It could be nothing, right? But we don't know, and that's just it. So
you simultaneously don't want to blow it out of proportion if it's something small, but like if it's also something big, you don't want to show your hand. So it's very understandable in that.
Right. So we're trying to be more delicate with it,
Yeah, but you guys, I mean, there's being delicate, and then there's just completely leaving us in the dark. I mean,
well, we're not leaving in the dark. I didn't have a chance to even speak with you. This is the first time I've seen you since it started.
I know, but I mean, you guys could have just notified. I mean, I have a member of high command around the clock, 24/7, 365. 7 days a week. I mean, you guys could have found someone just to relay a 10-second message to you, like, hey, we're looking into this. We're keeping it a little close to the cuff.
Well, due to the delicate nature of it, I'd rather tell you in person, though.
Yeah, but I look. I mean,
did you speak to Frost?
Yeah, I did, and he just screamed at me about how not everything's about me, and I'm not the commissioner.
Yeah,
and I was just like, man, all you got to do is just tell me a little bit that's going on. I genuinely, he thinks every time I'm just trying to big dick him. And Angel, I say this to you genuinely. I don't try to big dick really anybody. I do like to fuck with Brian Knight every once in a while, but I don't genuinely try to big dick anybody. I just feel like this is, in my perspective, it looks like we're not trusted. And I don't really understand as to why, because then I'm going to I mean, clearly we're not trusted.
I
Like-
trust you. I will be honest. I do not really trust your high command team.
But why?
Oh, that's
though?
kind of fucked up. What have I
Yeah, that is
done?
fucked up.
No, not you, Rose. I meant more
Okay.
like your captains. Because
Which one?
Carmine likes to fucking shit stir for fun. And Jeb is a really great guy. He's really good at what he does. But I don't really have a good read on the kind of things that he likes to do. And I don't really know what's going on with Maxwell anymore. And I just truthfully don't really trust them to release information to you in a way that wouldn't be twisted or colored in some way to change your perspective of something. Right?
Does this
I would rather
present?
tell you personally.
Does this present a an area in which we should be labeled high command?
No.
Or like overly, well, I mean high command in the sense of like reports, because the thing is, I don't want to be left in the dark regarding stuff like this. And I know it wasn't your intent, but considering Pred had conversations with Frost and Frost was unwilling to give any information, like I definitely deem that problematic.
Yeah,
because
sure. I
like,
can understand.
had Frost have dealt with it exactly as you did right now, this literally would have been a non-issue. Like, yes, we understand, you know, no big deal. But when we're kind of specifically told, like, not everything's about you, I can understand Brian's perspective of the information coming from the BCSO. But when
I
it
don't
wasn't
think
because
Frost
of...
knew most of this information anyways, so I don't know if he would have been able to
Oh.
tell you this.
Ooh.
He wasn't present at the interrogation. So
So I guess
yes,
sort of
I
going back...
agree. I do sympathize with you on that. That is not necessarily a good thing, and we should be more open with you on that. I will agree.
Is it safe to assume that me, Pred, you, Frost, Brian, amongst those 5 people, there would be no leaks?
Yes. I feel completely confident in that. And it's not even necessarily about leaks, but like it's more so a lot of the people in our high command teams.
People talk and like
yes,
hint.
talk. Yes, exactly. It's
I
not even
agree.
like I'm saying that they would go around and call at people and shit stir intentionally. They might just say something at the wrong time with the wrong person hearing it, and you know what I mean. It snowballs from there.
So for me, this...
Carmine fucking announced with the barrack shit like almost immediately and caused a whole fucking drama bomb from that. And
Yeah, but
I
mean that's because that's important though. I mean, look, I mean,
yeah,
regardless
but I
of
didn't
your
want
guys'
I didn't want Carmine to put out, "Don't trust Bjorn. He's gonna fucking kill you all and suck your blood. He's the evil vampire." We didn't really want that to happen.
The Bjorn and Barrack stuff is completely. I don't really think those two things are comparable.
I don't either. It's just more so the last time we were doing an investigation, your high command did a bit of stirring. So
Oh, I did.
So
Yeah,
you did
definitely
too.
So
yes.
I still propose a potential solution here, because I can understand wanting a delicate situation to be dealt with appropriately. Though I do think, like, if the area of concern, even with high command reports, is potential leaks or people like hinting towards things, again, does that just mean that we need high command reports so that it's literally the 5 of us, so that in the event where we're not around?
Why don't we give it an official name that's not high commands, so that I don't get getting PTSD? And why don't we call it like department head reports or something like that?
That's
maybe?
valid. I'm
Or
not
just,
opposed, because
I
think that'd
would
be a
okay
good
with
idea.
that.
Because that's like
good.
nothing is hidden from
I truly
here.
feel like Director Knight's trying to drive a wedge between us because he knows he can manipulate the sheriff. And I really think that you guys should be focused more on working with us than them. I think that the second that we start giving all the keys for every major investigation over to the Director Brian Knight, that we're fucking shooting ourselves in the foot.
How many of those are we doing that?
But the thing is, though, essentially we're lifting them above us, which isn't good for either one of us. Like this is just my advice. You guys are free to do what you want, and you may think that I'm trying to manipulate a narrative as well, which is fine, but I'm not. I'm simply saying that it should be BCSO and LSPD working in tandem together, basically and virtually on everything, and we let the marshals do their own shit. Because from my perspective, all I ever see is Frost and Knight. All I ever see is a bunch of marshals and BCSO people.
Well, Pred, they were fucking
driving a
dating.
wedge. I know, but
Well, hold up. They seemingly don't give a fuck that Frost slept with Nikki.
Yeah, they don't care. They're not gay anymore.
Brian forgot that he was married to to Frost. That's why, bro. Did you not hear that?
No.
Yeah, he got some guy like fucking karate chopped him and like stuck his brain right, and he forgot all about that.
Holy fuck. And Frost is taking advantage and just moving the fuck on?
Yeah,
But-
Frost has been very depressed about it.
Yeah. He
Look, you
doesn't
guys
sound
do gotta listen
depressed.
to me on this. All right, you
Mhm.
guys do gotta listen to me on this. Knight is essentially driving a wedge that is because he knows 100% that Frost leans on him, and I think you don't have to say anything, but I think even you're aware that Frost leans towards a certain person's word. All right, so
Sure.
Frost has got to get on, got to get it in fucking gear and quit thinking that I'm always trying to fuck him over and that I'm the bad guy, because the only thing that he's doing is he's lending a hand towards our own self-destruction.
Sure. I can understand why you would think that. Listen, I think that maybe you and Frost should sit down and have a talk because I know that
I try to talk to him all the time.
Well, here's the thing. Whenever you guys have these
It's one-sided. It ain't a you
spats-
guys thing.
Okay, but can you just let me finish what I'm saying?
Sure.
Whenever there's these spats, whatever, I don't know what the context is of you guys talking. He always seems to be, to me, very stressed and very overwhelmed. And I think that, especially considering that he went from being a PPO to being the sheriff, this is a very overwhelming thing for him to deal with, right? You're not an easy person to deal with, Pred, as you know. And I just
I'm the
think
hardest
that
to deal with.
yeah, and I just think that for him, it is getting to a point where he would rather not deal with it and focus on things at the BCSO than dealing with you, just because of that alone. And I think that there probably needs to be a discussion about mediating this tension.
I'd
I-
love to be there.
I think it would be good if myself and Rhodes sat in on like a little therapy session between you and him to make things good again. Because
If he can't handle it, he should quit.
okay, well,
If he can't handle the heat, he should get out of the kitchen and go back to washing the dishes.
the dishwasher is pretty hot too, actually. As someone
That-
who's done that before, it's actually like
that is
almost as hot as the kitchen.
That is
So
true.
that's not a good
I
analogy.
had to clean up the drunk piss.
Frost is around.
Oh, how convenient! Hey, and me and Rose are around, and Pred's is right here. You know what we should do? We should call him.
Well, depends. Hold on. It does depend because Rhodes, I don't know how long he wants to be.
No, I'm
around
good.
for
I'm
today.
good. I'm good.
See, perfect. Let me give him a call. Based off his reaction, hopefully nothing terrible happens.
I do think he is a stupid bitch, and I think he's a weak man.
Okay, well, I'm gonna not
See,
agree with
Pred,
that.
you can't start a conversation off that way and expect a
Hey,
productive
Frost.
conversation.
That's
you
how
know?
I'm starting the
Your
conversation.
favorites, Underserved Angel. How you doing? I'm doing great. I'm currently having a conversation with the
Where's
Chief of Police
Rube?
Kyle Pred and Assistant Chief of Police Rhodes about some of the Bjorn stuff, and I was wondering if you wanted to come down and participate. Great. We're on the 4th floor in the law enforcement office of the City Hall. I'll see you soon. Buddy. Is it what? Hello? Hello? Hi. Oh, you're coming? All right, cool. All right, we'll see you soon. All right. All right, bye-bye.
Perfect.
Stop talking.
So I shouldn't refer to him as Brian Knight's cum catcher when he comes in here, huh?
Well, he's not that anymore. He got dumped. Listen, I think that maybe Patty, you should take in more effort in nurturing rather than harming here, because we can all agree that Frost is a good guy, right?
He's gonna say no.
Okay, why don't you think so, Fred?
Think truly that he just doesn't have the experience or the knowledge to truly understand a lot of the situations that he finds himself in, and that what he diverts to is leaning on someone to just give him the answer and guide him along the way like a dog on a fucking leash. I think that there's times when you rely on others to render the verdict, so to speak, but then there's times where you got to put your fucking foot down, be a goddamn fucking man, and you got to put your goddamn watch on, as expensive as it is. I mean, you've seen my watch. It's a $114,000 Athena.
It is very nice.
Alligator leather with a golden diamond bezel. And you gotta do these kinds of things. Sorry, fucking spit went down the wrong pipe.
Oh.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry, I didn't mean to
All
cough
right.
on
You
your
mean it-
face. Let me wipe
you-
that off your glasses.
Thank
Let me-
you. Thank you. It's smudged in. It's making
I
it
didn't
nice.
mean to smear it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to go wash those later. Whatever. I don't need glasses anyway.
Yeah, I just want there to be a productive conversation. I mean, listen, do I think Brian is like intentionally trying to like wedge us
Yes.
apart? I'm not quite sure. I mean, I haven't seen direct things that that would imply that. It's not to say it hasn't happened. I will say though,
I just think that he's trying to cement the marshals as what they are, a state oversight agency.
well,
Whether that means driving a wedge between us, I don't know, but I do think he is trying to assert his authority.
have y'all had any issues with marshals attaching to calls?
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, well, apparently it's
I mean-
happened.
Popping up.
Have they?
Yeah. And from my understanding, I believe it was Carmine asked that the marshal break off because we were over unit limits for whatever specific call it was, and I think they took issue with that.
Did they?
So, sounds like there might be a jurisdictional, not
Well,
issue.
we lose that.
We do lose that inherently because they are the resolver of jurisdictional issues. But the concern comes from the fact that, like, unless they're privy to our SOPs, like, they're going to operate differently and potentially fuck shit up.
Yeah, but that's something that we can't really meet with force. Like, that's something that we have to meet with diplomacy.
I 100% agree because, and I told Pred, if you attempt to do it by force, you win in the very short term. The moment it hits the courts, everything crumbles.
Yeah, I think that it would be pretty disastrous for us.
Come
if
on
we were
in.
to do it like that. Hey, Frost,
Hey, Frost, how you
my
doing?
6'5"
I'm
and a
good.
half mountain of a sheriff.
I'm good, thank
Oh.
you. Hey, nice
Hey.
to see you, Rhodes.
You as well.
So I guess just to catch you up on what's been going on, Fred and Rhodes wanted to know a little bit more about the Bjorn investigation and what was going on. They had some concerns, so I filled them in on the rough details of the interrogation and the situation as a whole.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, no high command report.
So that brought us to a few things. Based on how it was explained to me, it sounds like when Pred had inquired about the Bjorn situation, there was a not very productive conversation regarding
Yeah,
it.
he called me the
which-
commissioner and said all I do is make things about myself.
That's right, and I'll explain it. Pred, listen, I have no animosity against you or your department. I like you as a person, I do. Now, let's think about this, right? So I'm taking a nap. I get an email. Hey, unless you tell me what's going on, I'm hiring Bjorn.
Got you
Now-
out of bed, didn't it, bitch?
No, listen, it did.
Hey,
There's no need for that.
let's
It
be
did.
let's come on, let's be respectful here, Fred.
However, if the message had read, hey, Bjorn's just came to me looking to transfer, it seems like there's some issues going on, could you come and explain? Then happily, you don't have to start conversations with like a conflictual message. The context of the situation, I mean, I'd more than happily explain to you in full detail of why Bjorn's suspended. That isn't an issue. And I do think that when the issue was rose to you by Bjorn, it is relevant to bring you in, and it is relevant to give you the information. Could we have
I
made a
think
high
it's
command
relevant to
report?
bring us in at the get-go,
Absolutely.
man.
You're right. Could we have made a high command report so you could have read it? Yes. Is that a mistake?
Doesn't even have to say any details. It just has to say, I mean, the way I look at it is,
I mean,
you
Fred,
guys
I'm
coulda
saying
just
it was a mistake not to make one. I'm not against you here.
Okay, I'm just saying in the
um,
future, let's correct it. Because I want us. All right, look, believe it or not, Frost, I see you as my partner. You might not believe me when I say that, but from my perspective, I truly believe that Director Brian Knight is manipulating you and driving a wedge between you and me. Instead of you focusing on working with me and me focus on working with you, I don't think it's productive for either one of our departments because it's only helping the director assert to a higher power. All right, because he has you guys, basically, working with him all the time.
And now, to be fair, right? I can understand why you feel that way. I do, because it seems that whenever we have an issue, whether that be me and you or departmental issues,
Yes.
Knight is always somewhat involved. Now, with that being in mind, a majority of our conversations have revolved around something that the marshals or Knight have brought up. And I understand that my prior relationship with Knight
Yep, you
in
used to be
terms
gay.
of the mentorship and relationship. So I can understand why you could easily jump to that conclusion. However, I mean, to be honest,
can't.
I've probably spoken to Knight for less than half an hour in the past 2 weeks. The extremities of what you feel and think from your perception are factually incorrect. However, I do understand why you would feel like that. As for this situation here, if I had been met with some sort of professionalism, I wouldn't have had any issues with that phone call just being, yeah, this is what's going on. I'll loop you in on the low details and then we can catch up.
How was I unprofessional? I just said, "Hey, man, I wish we could communicate about this." I was
I'm
was
talking
very
about
cordial.
the email you sent me, right?
Well, I had to get your ass out of bed. What the fuck you want me to do? I mean,
you could have got my ass out of bed by just saying, hey, can you wake up for a 10-minute chat about Beyond? And I would have. So you can understand from my point of view, when every time you have an issue or any time you feel you want information or aren't involved in something that you should be, your instant reaction to that is animosity instead of just generally communicating, right? And I go back and I understand that I say some things that I shouldn't. I shouldn't have called you a pick me, for example. But that was based off the energy that I
I
perceived
don't even
I'd
know
got
what
from
that
you, right?
is.
No, and that's fine. And that's fine. I'm just explaining, right?
I'm 40.
It means
that
everything.
energy.
You want everything to be about you. You want to be the person that's that's always.
Well, I
You're-
do
always
want
pay-
everything.
You're
to
an
be about
attention
me.
listen,
hoy.
Yeah,
so
pretty
you-
much.
Just before we dive into this, right, listen, I perceived an energy from that and I matched the energy that I perceived. Now, could I have been wrong with my perception? Absolutely. But could you be less hostile when you feel like you have been wronged? Absolutely, right?
No.
I mean, you could, and this is the thing, right? I'm stood here admitting where I've wronged, and you can't do that, which is fine because it's the person you are, and I'm not going to look down on you or try and make our work together more difficult because of that. We are both who we are, right? I just feel like we are both mutually disrespectful to each other in different ways, and that's something that we could both work on.
I have a question, and then after I've sort of like proposed a potential solution to whatever is going on. But when you did end up speaking with Pred, given there being no reports, and I understand it was intended to control the amount of individuals with said information. That's entirely understandable. But would it not have been worth, regardless of what Pred was saying or doing, would it not have been worth a very brief explanation as to what's going on? Because
it would have been worth it. Absolutely. I'm not denying that fact. Absolutely. I admitted, right? One of the first statements I
think you
said in
mistake
this
what
conversation was we should have made a high command report. Now, secondly, the other reason that I was on that energy, which I shouldn't have been, I actually haven't been involved in this. I wasn't there for the interrogation. You probably right now know more information than me. So again, I didn't really have much to communicate with you.
Hey, see, that's not what bothers me. I look. That isn't what my issue is, right? My issue is that just, hey, you know something? If someone's suspended, right? But in this instance, if someone's suspended, that's kind of like one thing, right? But if someone's suspended pending some type of potential involvement or investigation, and I feel like I'm not asking to know the details. I'm truly not, unless you want me to interrogate someone, which, I'm pretty decent at. I would say probably, I would honestly say I'm the best interrogator in this entire city by a landslide. Right? If you wanted my assistance, I would give it to you. Right? But the only thing that I was upset about was simply that there was just no relay of minuscule information to say, hey, we're suspending this guy
Ross is gonna
due
go, yeah,
to
I admit I
a
fucked up
potential
there.
involvement with something massive. You don't even have to tell me what. Right? See, that's all I need. That's all. That's it right there. And I don't think that even telling my high command that you guys clearly don't trust, right? Something like that minuscule minus the details is harmful. As long as you say, hey, I don't want anyone knowing about this. Hey, he's suspended pending investigation. It's a substantial thing. Like, this is actually massive in regards to maybe X, maybe Y, or you don't even have to include that. Got to have basic communication between us, because trust me when I tell you this. That is the courtesy that I will extend to you. And if you're not around and Angel's not around, even though I don't like Ventura at all, I think he's a fucking piece of shit. Right? I think he's a goddamn asshole, and the fact that he's a captain disgusts me. But I would still go to him and be like, hey, Captain Ventura, can you relay a message to your high command? Let them know I'm putting out like a little high command report. All right, but what this looks like to me, right, is like, you got to understand, Knight's fucking with me a little bit. All right, you're fucking with me a little bit. All right, there's no command reports. There's nothing on any of this in the goddamn MDT. So how am I supposed to think and react? I'm completely cut out of the equation, not even informed a little bit. Of course I'm going to have an issue with that. I mean, brother, I am not fucking some officer Kyle Pred. I'm the chief of fucking police. And if the fucking chief of police isn't clued into what's going on, right? It's not because I think I'm above you or I think I'm better than you. Right? I don't think any of those. Anyway, I just think that we have to have a little decorum and respect between our departments instead of relying on the Brian
Decorum and respect.
the goddamn state marshals.
Tell me what's going on with
Because
Bjorn,
there is a
bitch.
definite wedge
I
getting
don't
drawn
remember how it
in
was worded, but
where I see it all the time. Marshals and BCSO doing things. They're together. They're talking. I'll be driving past. Sometimes I'll do roll-bys of the BCSO. I see a little gathering of marshals with BCSO people, and that's fine. I get it. But I don't think it's good for our relationship, and I don't think it's good for you as a sheriff to be leaning on Brian Knight. Brian Knight is not a good man. All right, he is my best friend, and I say this. He is not a good man. He is using you. He uses everybody around him.
He's your son.
He used Bass, all right? He used Axel Justice. He fucking used Sean Davidson, the goddamn president. This guy manipulates everybody around him, all right? And what am I, taking fucking crazy pills?
No.
Like, why do you think he never gravitated
Fred,
towards my department? Because he
Fred,
can't
listen.
manipulate me.
Fred, listen, right? Now, again, I understand the perception. I have probably had 2 conversations with Knight in the past 2 weeks, but I do understand the perception, right? Now, as for all of the other points that you were initially on track with, you're right. We should have given you the courtesy. It wasn't an interdepartmental issue with the context of what's going on with Bjorn, and there should have been a high command report. Obviously, as I came into this conversation, I instantly raised that. We could have communicated better. You're right.
So this was something that was discussed briefly right before you had entered Frost, but it seems that there might be concerns regarding individuals in our high command. Not necessarily regarding like full on leaking, but like implication of things, or like talking about things coincidentally while like certain things are happening to like imply some kind of similarity to something that might be referenced in command or high command reports. I proposed a potential solution where it would only be me, Pred, you, Angel, and Knight. Essentially all the department heads. I pretty much said high command. Angel proposed something way better, which was department heads. And so there would literally be 5 individuals in total who would have access to this information, and I think that would resolve situations similar to this. That way, in the event where, you know, we're not around, or you are not around, or Angel's not around to be able to communicate said information, there at least be a report there at minimum if it's something that's, that needs to be controlled regarding information going out. Because it could be something big, it could be nothing, and to blow it out of proportion ahead of time would be a little silly. Is that something that you'd be on board with?
I mean, I think we could do one better, to be honest. I think we could do two types of reports. We could have PD heads, and then we could have interdepartmental heads. As you know, Knight doesn't need to be involved in everything that we do as a police department. But having the option for situations where he does need to be involved, or maybe we do need to let him know, we could have two options, right? Something that only us four can see, and then something that Knight can be involved in too, right?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm very hesitant to skirt around excising the marshals from PD operations. I'm not intimately familiar with the modified legislation surrounding them, and I don't know necessarily what their new amended powers and rules are with regarding to oversight. And I don't want to do something that could get us in trouble
I
without
mean,
double
it's
checking
something
that.
we can look into, right? It very much depends
Yeah,
on the context of it. Like,
I'm open to the idea. I just don't
I'm
want us to
not
get hammered for it.
I'm not talking about using these reports to hide information that could be state issues. I'm more so if there are situations that we need communication on as for that aren't a state issue, then we can have that luxury too, right? I don't think it needs to be more deepened than that.
I mean, the safe bet would be with Brian there as director, because then he'd have access. And again, the whole intent would be to
Not
control.
just Brian, it's his entire department. They
Well,
all have access.
No. It would only be Brian,
We
is what I'm
can,
saying.
yeah, we can make it so only Brian has access. So the marshals can't see literally everything in the MDT. Like they still have to access specific things with permissions. Like they can't just pull up whatever they want whenever.
Yeah. The reality is, I think if something is being placed in that category, I really don't think I mind if Brian sees, because I mean, we'd be avoiding any potential issues regarding like preventing them from seeing stuff. And I don't want to run into any legal issues on that front. Especially when considering in the scenario like this, he was already privy to the information, right? And it was just so, again, don't want anything to be blown out of proportion if it doesn't need to be. And then everything, can sort of be avoided.
He raised the information, right? Well, no, yeah. Listen,
well, from my understanding, he wanted it to be communicated from the BCSO, and not communicate it himself. Was, I think, the primary concern.
Odd. Which was very odd.
Because again, this is also being told to Pred, while Pred has zero knowledge of what's actually going on. So it was kind of just.
The only thing Knight tells me is that he's going to have a written notice served to me that if I hire Bjorn, I'm what is it? Obstructing justice. And I'm just like, get the fuck out of here. What the fuck
listen,
does that even mean?
Again, I can't speak on that. He hasn't communicated that with me. I genuinely am not in as much conversation with him as you perceive. He told me about the Bjorn thing, and then that was it.
So was it spearheaded by BCSO or the marshals?
It was raised by a subpoena that the marshals created. It was then passed to me, and that was pretty much it. I then delegated it to Dukakis because Angel was involved in the prison break. And I mean, I personally like delegating.
But I wasn't
things
involved.
To see how it's
wait,
handled.
guys, wait. I wasn't involved. I didn't do it.
I mean, you were involved.
You
in
did the. You did
I didn't.
It?
No, I mean, like I was there at the prison, but like I was engaged as a law enforcement officer. I didn't do it. Is what it.
Yeah, no, she aided stopping it, right?
Oh,
like I said,
yeah.
I then delegated it to Dukakis, and I mean that was it. I wasn't present for the interrogation. I didn't feel like I needed to be. I got filled in literally after that conversation I'd had with you, and now we're here, right? Again, and I genuinely, you might not believe this, and that's fine. If you had have just approached me more, like I said, professional, I literally would have given you the information. It's you can understand. I mean, you probably can't, but you can understand how that can appear hostile, right? Like,
No.
yeah, I know you can't.
No, you're right.
However,
I can't understand it.
I know, and that's fine. But you have to understand, you had a lack of context, which frustrated you. I also had a lack of context, right? You told me if I don't tell you what's going on with Bjorn, you're hiring him. That's the only context I had, right?
You had what I wanted you to have.
And that's fine.
Fred, I
Listen,
texted
Fred,
you and provided you a translation.
Let me
look,
see.
I want to work with you. Again, personally, I like you a lot. I have no animosity.
You are rough around the edges, difficult to communicate with unless they're willing to accept being insulted in the. Yes, very true. Yes, yes, that is 100% true. Yes, yes, and yes.
See? So you do understand.
I do understand.
All right, we're
Fred,
getting
all
somewhere.
he's asking is for you not to approach him with, bitch, I'm hiring Bjorn if you don't tell me a
Well,
reason.
he's asking me to do things that I can't do.
Well,
Unfortunately, I can't just change who I am.
Yes,
I
but
just can't. I just
you
can't.
have been so nice to me times when I've asked you to be. Okay, I know you can do it. It's in you. You got it. You just gotta want to
Well,
do it.
Well, I'm not like Frost. I can't just. Hold on, my phone popped out.
he doesn't have
I'm not
a switch.
I'm not like Frost. I just can't get karate chopped and bam, I'm a straight. All right,
Okay.
I can't do that. It doesn't work like that for me.
Well, you're
Okay.
gay.
But
No,
you are
I'm not.
gay?
I was just saying.
I
I'm
always
a,
Were you
I'm
just
a
knew you
straight
pretending?
were.
man.
Were you just
When
pretending
I
the
know.
whole time?
You were
when
not
I
my
was
beard.
hitting on
You
you,
were
when
not
I
my
was
beard.
hitting,
Guys, it's
wait,
not
so
true.
when I was hitting on you that time, you were actually kind of feeling it. Then is that what
No,
I'm getting
because
from
well,
this?
compliments are nice. Who doesn't like getting compliments? I mean,
That's true.
hey, I like compliments. I
I,
like compliments.
I
like
love
being
compliments
Yeah.
too. From my husband, because I'm married.
Listen, I mean, to be honest, Fred, though, again, we can say a lot of words in here. It doesn't really mean shit unless we act on the actions. We could have communicated better. There should have been a high command report. I think this idea that you've created of a department lead is fantastic. I think it'll fix
Thank you.
communication issues. And all we can do is act on it and see the progress going forward, right? We can literally back and forth here about how you feel, how I feel, what went wrong, what we didn't do, what you didn't do. It doesn't really fucking matter, right? It's happened. We've spoke about it, and we have a direction to go to fix it. If we stick to that, I mean, it's as simple as that. The issue will be fixed, right?
Yes.
I agree.
Okay, good
Fred,
shit.
you're trying so hard. I can tell.
No, I'm not trying. I am doing.
Look at that. Progress in real time. All right. Well, are there any other points
Damn,
of contention
Angel,
while we're
looking
here?
tight.
Thank you. I've been working out recently. After you
Yep.
told me to. Working
Yeah,
hard.
but I did tell you that you needed to start hitting the gym.
Yeah. But you don't like the new makeup though?
No, I don't like. I do not. I am not a fan. You're 40.
So?
Yeah, I mean, you're 40. You know what I
So?
mean? There's some things you
Morticia
gotta
Adams is
kind
like
of.
70, but she still was banging.
I think
Are you Morticia Adams though? No, you are not. Fucking
could be.
Morticia Adams.
I could be.
Fred, I think you need to acknowledge that it's not a phase.
Whatever
I
she
mean, well,
does, I'll
this is-
support.
This is a phase. I mean, I'm just trying new things out. Listen, I'm getting older. I gotta try new things out, right?
Yeah, same. Yeah, same. That's why I'm growing this beard.
Exactly. We're all experimenting. We're adults. That's what we do. So
Yeah, it's no
I
shave
know what
November.
I like.
okay, and you don't like goth girls. That's fine.
No, I like goth girls.
Okay, but you don't like me.
No, I like you.
Okay, so what's the problem?
This just isn't what I'm used to.
Oh, okay. So it's just the time thing. Well, you'll get used to it.
You think it'll grow on you? I think
Angel
it'll grow
told
on
me
you.
you're my father, Fred. Is this true?
Oh, son, yeah. I mean, kind of, sort of, because you're not anymore though,
Huh?
because you got divorced. Because Brian is Fred's son. He's my son. So basically, they were married, but now they're not. But they were. So at a time, Frost is your son-in-law, but not anymore because he got divorced. So
Oh, okay.
So I think that's how it works. I don't know.
That's confusing.
Yeah, Angel always had an affinity for adopting adults.
Yeah, it's a fucking family
Okay.
bush.
Hey,
It is a
I've
family
I've done the
bus, yeah.
same. I've done the same. Adopted Cody. Brian killed him.
Rest in peace.
Yep, I was in
Adopted
the room
Flop.
when he died.
Yep, adopted Flop.
Flop's a criminal.
Flop is a criminal. That is
I
true.
blew him up with my tank.
Probably deserved. Also, fuck the ADMC.
That's right. Those guys are fucked.
Yeah,
But I mean,
that's not surprising.
shit. But Pred, no. I mean this. I hold nothing against you. I want us to work well. Like I said, I can definitely fix the communication side. These reports will definitely help. All I quite literally ask is that you come to me with questions, not ultimatums, right? And then that will make every situation a lot easier to deal with.
Okay, Frost, I know I'm asking for a lot here. Because I know Pred, and I want to see this resolved in its entirety, you know? I can't promise because I'm not Pred, though I do know Pred is a person very fucking well. I can almost promise your next email is going to be written identically.
I know it will.
Hear me out. Hear me out. What if you like pretend to not see the bitch part? Eh? Eh? Is that a no-go?
I mean, that's just, it's very easy to just not come at people with ultimatums. It isn't a difficult task.
Fred, can we work on autocorrect turning bitch into something like, I don't know. I don't know what to autocorrect it to, but do you know how you can autocorrect words to other things? I really do think you should.
Rhodes, damn it! You know I choose my words very intently.
I know, but
No, you don't.
you type bitch, and without even realizing, you press space and it's not even bitch, it's something else. Best
Bitch,
friend.
Bitch ass.
Well, no,
Right.
because it can't be bitch because it'll be autocorrected.
No, I can't have that. I won't know. Don't touch my phone.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to resolve the communication issue here. Pred, did you approach in that way just because there was like no report already there? Like if there was a report
also,
and you wanted
being
context.
threatened by Brian Knight.
Oh.
You also have to understand, though, Brad, right? The day that it happened, you weren't around. And at the time of the conversation, it had quite literally been less than 24 hours. And I mean, I'm not trying to say that we couldn't, like, we could have handled it better, because we could have, I've admitted that. But in terms of, like, the availability from when it happened to when we spoke to actually discuss it, there wasn't exactly much of an opportunity, right?
Because you didn't make one.
Frost, full disclosure.
The little bit of information could have just been relayed to somebody saying, hey, like I said earlier.
Frost, I know you're not trying to put the blame on
It's exactly
Fred.
what this son of a
Well,
bitch is
here,
trying to
no.
do.
I'm not.
No, Frost, I'm trying to give you like communication lessons with Kyle Pred, okay? It doesn't matter if the attempt to like not shift blame, but like even slightly look at Pred's direction with like a fraction of a percent of blame, Pred perceives that at 100% at all times.
Yeah, I understand that.
Okay, so Pred, listen, for what it's worth, listen, it wasn't an ideal situation, you know. We found a hole in our communication, and reasons and concerns, which in my opinion can be valid. Okay. So yeah, I think we just go the department head route. And that way we can easily communicate.
Reports are perfect. Yeah, no, I think these are perfect. Obviously, we should always try and verbalize it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
We shouldn't.
But it's
be
like a
trying to
backup.
communicate by reports, but it is definitely a backup. You're right. I think they'll work well. Like I said, you know, the actions will show a lot more than these words right here will. I'll put effort into it. Obviously, I hope it's reciprocated, and then issue literally isn't an issue, right?
Everything I do is 100%.
That's right. You know, if we're all as perfect as you, Pred, it wouldn't be fair on anyone else, right?
It wouldn't be.
Mhm.
You're damn right. We can agree on something.
That's right.
Fred, are you good?
I don't know. He's acting
It's
strange
like,
now.
yeah, like you've been like
he's
neutered.
Got a stick up his ass or
Yeah,
something. I don't know.
What happened?
What are you talking about?
Someone's puppeting you, Fred.
Nobody puppets me. I puppet.
Okay.
It's like
You're not convincing anyone with that, dude.
with like a level of stubble in you, but like it's very much so not you. Guys, he's trying his hardest, and it's very noticeable. You're doing a great job, Pred. Doing a great job.
So good. You're doing so good.
I won't be chastised in this goddamn room.
No one's
And later
chastising
today,
you.
I'm taking you
Fred,
down.
breathe,
so
Pred,
good.
breathe in,
So
breathe in,
good.
Pred, please. Pred, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.